final show for Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol as the season wraps up with Bernie Miklasz and Chris Ranji. I'm Tom Ackerman. And wait, where's Ollie? Oh no! What's going on? Let the rumors start. No, I'm just kidding. He's it's just unbelievable. People are like, oh, he's not there. What happened? I am gonna tell him this when he comes on the show, that I'm just so thankful for this show. I think it's been a lot of fun to be able to visit with him. Sometimes not easy. I think he's had to talk about some topics that he doesn't exactly feel comfortable with, Bernie. But all in all, this has been a good process. It's been a show that I think that we really enjoy. And actually, I'm going to bring Ollie in right now. The Cardinals manager is with us on KMOX, on our live stream, on X, on YouTube, on Facebook, and he is in San Francisco, where the Cardinals were victorious yesterday over the Giants. And good morning to you, Oli Marmol.
How we doing?
Doing well. I was just telling, I want to say this right out of the gate, in case we run out of time at the end of our segment, because we do so much baseball, but I do want to deliver a thank you right out of the gate for this. Now, this is the last show that we'll do for now. I think there's going to be the possibility of maybe we do some more things like this in the off season. I think that would be a lot of fun, but just in general, wanted to thank you in front of everybody. And, you have been really from the beginning, Ollie, very available to us. I can remember, I just want to tell a quick story. After you were eliminated from the postseason in 22, and we were finished with Sports on a Sunday Morning, and I got up that morning and there was a text from you, and you said, I'd like to come on and answer any questions you have about what happened. And that's just you. And, you made yourself available. You've done it here again. And this has been a great format, not just for us. I mean, for the fans is what this is for, to allow them to understand what's going on with the team.
No, I appreciate that. I do remember that text. We weren't supposed to jump on. But that was the whole Helsley situation that people loved me for. So I remember shooting you a text and saying, hey, I'd rather jump on one more time with you, answer any questions that you guys may have or that the fans may have before we go into the offseason. And I think that was the right thing to do. But this is a really good way for us to communicate directly to the fan base, which I appreciate.
Well, it's been terrific. And I want to start things off. Congratulations on the win, and then we'll kind of work backwards from there. But last night, good, solid bullpen effort. My gosh, Michael McGreevy gets rewarded. He picks up his 8th win as the bullpen shuts him out for the rest of the game.
Penn did a nice job, man. One of those games we were talking about a couple weeks ago where a couple of you guys are down and other guys need to step up in order to get you to your back end. No Swanson, no Riley. So you have to figure out a way to get there. And Fern did a really nice job, man. He looked good. King got his guys, and we were able to kind of bridge it and hand it to JoJo there at the end. But overall, those guys were phenomenal and gave us a really good look. It was a good game. A little back and forth there. Their offense is really good. They got some real dudes in that lineup. So I enjoyed that one a ton.
Ollie, Bernie, good to have you again, as always. Going to miss these
Absolutely.
every Tuesday. So I don't know. I think we ought to just badger you all off season, frankly. So anyway,
we might just have you want to talk blues.
Yeah, that's right.
When do they open up?
Because we got soon.
First exhibition game Saturday.
Yep.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got 5 games left, and I know obviously there's a little ball left. So this is not the final, the final summation of your season. But tell us one thing that really pleased you about this season, and tell us one thing other than the record. I know you wanted to do better with your record, but just in terms of your team, tell us the one thing you really like about the season, the one thing maybe disappointed you or you certainly just wished could have been better.
Sure. The one thing that sticks out to me that I'm really pleased with, and I can speak for our staff as well, is how willing and welcoming our players are to just overall coaching and the tough conversation. There's times where you have a group where they're a little bit reluctant to that, and they take criticism as almost like you're against them rather than you're trying to help them move their careers along. In this group, and I can go down the list, man, from our pitchers to our pen to our position players, how amazing it is to have an honest conversation with them that hopefully leads to change, and the way they receive that, and at times even seek it out, man. Like you take somebody like a Victor Scott who's not having anywhere near the year he was hoping for. And the conversations you can have with him, and he'll seek it out. Like, hey, I want you to give me everything you've got today. Like, he'll show up 30 minutes before clubhouse opens, and he'll walk into the coach's room and find Jay and say, hey, man, walk me through everything that you didn't like yesterday. I want to know, and I want to improve it. And it's incredible. And our entire group is that way, which allows you to move this thing forward way quicker. So I've been really pleased with their overall demeanor and willingness to be coached. Man, the thing that sticks out that is disappointing, and it's probably more on I wish I could have done more leading into the trade deadline in order to keep some guys and maybe just add a small piece to give us a shot. You look at where we're at today. We're 3 or 3.5 out, whatever the case may be, after losing those 3 guys, and having Donovan out for a while, Contreras out for a while, Burley out for a while, Nato out for a ton of time, Mason Wind. And it's you get to the end. The only reason you do this is to win. That is the only like you do this in order to get to this point of the season and have a shot to play some games in October, and that's the fun part. So that's the part that gets me every morning over the last 10 days or so. Is like, damn it, we're so close. And I wish I could have done something different, something a little bit better leading into that trade deadline to give ourselves a shot. But unfortunately, here's where we're at. And what I'd love is our guys are still taking their best shot. They're not going to give in until that last game, which is awesome.
Yeah. So go ahead, Bernie.
No, just to follow up, and it's along the same lines. Listen, you do a great job of inviting scrutiny and even criticism because you like to be able to explain things. And even on our show every Tuesday, you see the comments that are there. There are people that'll be really critical or nasty or have sincere criticisms or questions. But
sure,
I know you like to try to block out the noise, so to speak, right? Because it would drive anybody crazy if you're just a prisoner to that. However, how do you scrutinize yourself? Like, how do you grade yourself, judge yourself? How do you see to it that, hey, I can do things better and I will do these things better? So what has your growth process been like in that area of critiquing yourself and being really maybe hard on yourself?
Yeah, and at times probably to a degree that's not great or healthy. I'll hold myself to a higher standard than anybody on the outside is going to, and I'm going to critique and second guess everything I do in a way that allows me to improve upon it. And then you also have to have really good people around you, and this is where Skip Schumacher was incredible. Descalzo is incredible, and that's why I was so confident in being able to have these 2 guys be bench coaches, because you have to have people you trust, people you love that are going to tell you the truth and not just agree with you because they want to keep their job. And both those guys do a phenomenal job of it. So we have a feedback loop, man, where post game and then the next day we talk about every move that was meaningful. And Dusty's a part of this as well. JJ's a part of this, and we just sit there and we talk through the game of what went well, what didn't go well, what decisions did we make that worked and which ones didn't work. And what you have to be careful with is there's times you make a good decision that just doesn't work. And you have to take a step back and go, all right, if we continue to do that over time, is it the right move? And if so, then that's fine. You move on and it just didn't work. But there's times you make a bad decision that does work. And you can't just pat yourself on the back and keep moving, because if you continue to make that decision over time, you're going to get beat. So you have to have people that can speak into that and make sure that you're doing exactly that. So, criticism it comes with the seat. I would say, if I'm being completely honest, man, I didn't handle it well at all in 23. Because it was the first time. When you're the bench coach, everybody loves you, right? Everyone's hating on the manager, so you're the guy that can just talk to the players. It's a good place to be. And it was the first year where I truly felt from the outside that criticism, and you can spend a lot of your waking moments defending it, and I felt like I did too much of that in 23. or you can just say what happened, say why you made the decision, and allow people to form their own opinions on it, and then keep moving. But for a manager to sit there, or anybody in a seat of any type of scrutiny, tell you that they just block it out completely, they're full of crap. No one's built to take that much criticism on a daily basis. You have to create some type of mindset and process for how you're going to handle that. And some do it better than others.
How often do you feel like the criticism isn't warranted, or you hear it and think, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about?
See, that part is the part that doesn't matter to me. If you have something to say, there's a reason you're saying it. I don't take many people's criticism into account. There's a circle of people that I will listen to, and there's some that are just dumb, and that's okay. They can have their opinion, and the reality is that they have very little information as to why certain things are done, or big picture, that they just don't have all the information. So at the end of the day, they can have an opinion. That's what fandom is about. But you have to keep your circle pretty tight in how you create that feedback loop of making good decisions and not.
Sunday was a day of tributes. John Mozeliak threw out the first pitch, final home game as president of baseball operations. And then just before the first pitch of the ball game, you have a change in the lineup. Nolan Arenado starts at third base, and then he is taken out of the game for the opportunity to hear from the fans. Take us through that Sunday, if you would.
Yeah, I walked into the weight room and he was in there stretching, and I felt like, man, I have no idea what the future is going to look like. We don't. We can all make assumptions, but we're not sure. And I would really regret going into the offseason not allowing our fan base to acknowledge what he's done for this organization and how hard he's played and he's posted. And just, this is a Hall of Fame third baseman. And if it is the last game that he plays as a Cardinal, man, I wanted people to be able to appreciate that. And so we made the change and had him run out there, and I just wanted him to have that moment, just in case it goes in a different direction.
I wanted to keep passing it around, but let me follow up on Arenado for just a minute.
Absolutely.
You know, how would you describe if it is at the end? We don't know that, but let's just say from when he came here to now, how would you describe the journey? I mean, it has been, I don't want to say tumultuous, because he's ridden it out and he's played at a very high level. It's just that in the end, none of you got what you wanted, which was a championship. Certainly that was on his agenda when he became a Cardinal. Just how would you describe the Nolan Arenado, when we look back at the Nolan Arenado experience in St. Louis?
I love him. I do. And it's mainly because of his heart for competing. This dude wants to play every day. There's one thing on his mind every second of the day, and it's, how do I get better in order for us to win? And if you had enough guys that thought like him and approached the game like him, man, it'd be a beautiful thing, because it's all he thinks about is, how do I get better defensively? How do I get better offensively? How do I get other people around me? But like, it's just a constant, relentless pursuit of excellence. It makes me, like, when you're a player, you think you work hard. Like, when I played, I thought I worked hard. And then I look at what Nato does on a daily basis, like, damn, like, he doesn't stop. So I have a ton of respect for him and how he goes about it, his game. He's treated me like gold, and I'm really appreciative of that. And I think his time with us was well spent. Unfortunately, there's other factors that play into not winning to the degree that we wanted to with his time with us. And that's just out of his control, it's out of my control. It is what it is. But as far as appreciating him for what he does on a daily basis, I have a ton of respect for him.
Players can learn a lot from their teammates. Do you think enough guys on this team have learned from him, or are watching?
Yes, I do. And some of them have tried to mimic the work ethic. Some are intimidated by it, and because they understand, man, he's really good, and if that's what it takes to be good, like, I have a lot of work to do, and that's okay. That's okay. But yes, to answer your question.
Let me take a quick break, and then Bernie can lead us off in the
Sure.
next segment. It's 12:20 just about. It's the Gashouse Gang on KMOX. It's always a treat to be visited by Oli Marmol, sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center, National Leaders in Cancer. Back in a moment here on KMOX. I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, focusing on the Siteman Kids program at St. Louis Children's Hospital, and Dr. Mohammed Abdul-Baki.
We have a large global program that people do not know about, thinking this is St. Louis in the center of the country, and we get consulted on a large number of international consults.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, National Leaders in Cancer. For more information, go to siteman.wustl.edu.
Hey guys, Glover here for Universal Windows Direct. Fall is the perfect season to tackle those home improvement projects before the weather turns cold. And if your windows are old, drafty, or just plain inefficient, now's the time to finally do something about it. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit whether you need 4 or 14, you only pay per half. And to make it even easier, you'll get 0% financing for 3 years, so no interest, no pressure. So don't wait for the first freeze to realize your windows aren't cutting it. Call 314-334-2522 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com.
House stealing. It's a nightmare that's real. It's the FBI's term for thieves stealing your home's title and draining your equity. Just one fake document filed with a recorder, and scammers can own your home on paper, drain your equity, and do it all without you even knowing. Imagine waking up to a foreclosure or eviction notice. Listen to former title thief Matt Cox.
What people don't realize is the ease in which this crime can happen. I can take the deed to your house and I can transfer that deed into my name. It's a great crime, and it's happening all the time.
So how can you stop the nightmare and protect yourself? Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO and get a 30-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Don't wait. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now, promo code RADIO.
104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Stronger than ever.
Pitch by Romero. A swing and a hot shot to second. Fermin has it and throws out Ramos for a Redbird winner in San Francisco. 3 up, 3 down for the Giants in the 9th, and this ball game has come to an end with the Cardinals winning Game 1 of their final road trip by a score of 6-5.
Yes, they did. And the Cardinals play tonight, 8:45. John Rudy will have the call. Ricky Horton, Mike Claiborne, Jim Jackson, Ryan Schulte, while we're handing out thank yous. What a job they do on the radio side all year long with this team, with Bernie Miklas, Chris Ranji, and Oli Marmol. I'm Tom Ackerman. Bernie, let's lead off this round of questioning with you.
So, Oli, I'm watching the game last night, and I stay awake. I'm into it. But I got to say, when Herrera hit that bomb off Verlander, and it wasn't just the bomb, it was looking at Verlander on the mound, where he was like a combination of, and this is one of the great warriors of all time, combination of, you got to be kidding me. Like he was ticked off. He was just like looking where that ball landed. You know, you could just tell that it just sort of shook him. And I don't mean that in a demeaning way, but Herrera's got that ability to do that to pitchers. But I wanted to ask you this. It's such a fascinating situation because last week, I don't have to tell you, you revealed that, the Cardinals would like to put him back at catcher next season. And he'll have to have some elbow cleanup to remove some loose debris in there. But talk us through that. But I just wonder if it's realistic that he could improve that much. And you do have other catchers. And is this something you'll revisit, or is this like a final decision? You're going to put him back behind the plate?
Yeah, no, great question. I love that he hit it. He comes down, he touches home plate, and he's kind of jogging to the dugout, and he looks at me. He goes, "That's Verlander. I got him." And just the look in his eye, like it's one thing he wanted to do before that game was over. Like, I'm going to clip this guy, and it was fun to watch. So regarding the catching, here's how we're approaching it. We've had some extensive conversations, myself and Chaim, as far as what this should look like. And I love giving him the opportunity to come in a spring and show that he's capable, because if he can do it, then that bat profile is even better and gives us an opportunity to add different pieces around that in the DH position, whatever the case may be, right? So here's a big part of that conversation is he's going to get that scoped out and cleaned out so that there's no pain when he throws. That's a big part of him being able to actually rip through it and feel like he's putting something behind the baseball when it comes to throwing guys out. So how he bounces back from that is going to be important. And then he's super determined on going through this curriculum on the game calling side and the preparation side as to what information he needs to continue to look at, retaining that information, being able to recall it on the spot, and when to veer from it based on what he's seeing. So it'll be a very hands-on approach. And then we'll go into spring and give him an opportunity. So when you say final decision, I think the way I would view this is give him the best chance to come in to win that job. And we'll make a decision then. But I think it's the right thing to give him every shot of making this happen and then allowing us to evaluate.
A two-part follow-up, please.
Yeah.
Number one, when you sort of moved him out from behind the plate, one of the things you cited is you didn't want to see him get beat up behind the plate and get injured to the point where you don't have his bat in the lineup, and which really made sense. And then number two, somewhat related, is there still a chance that he could surface in left field depending on what happens this offseason, who may move out, roster changes and such?
Yes, and I wouldn't take any of that off the table. Part of it is the elbow is bothering him. So continuing, you can throw him in left field from time to time like we did. You're not throwing nearly as much as when you're catching and throwing every pitch back to the pitcher and having to throw out runners. So we just wanted to make sure that we didn't make it worse. So keeping him in the lineup was important for him. Just get him as many at-bats this year as possible so that we can see what we ended up seeing. And then the lower half was something that was continuing to bug him. But I think this guy's he's a workhorse. And he's going to go into the offseason. He'll address the lower half stuff. He'll come in really good shape. I have zero concerns about that. But it made sense to give him the run of at-bats that we did while protecting the lower half and the elbow, knowing we were headed towards what the announcement was earlier this week.
So when you say you're going to, it's going to be a hands-on thing with him during the off season and whatever program he's working on to get better behind the plate. Is it he'll be in a lot of these guys go back home. A lot of players just go back home. So how will you continue to monitor what he's doing and the progress he's making?
Yeah, a lot of this will be it's still in the works as far as how we're looking at this because our facility in Jupiter is not ready. And if you remember, we're tearing that down, we're building it up and making it a lot better than what we've had the last several years. So it's not as easy as just come down to Jupiter. There are some ways to work around that we're talking through, but in a perfect world, our staff is hands-on with them in Florida. And then there's a little bit of back and forth because he does visit Panama and goes back home with family for a little bit. So we would like to be as hands-on as possible during that time, but we're still working through some of those details.
Oli, are all of those decisions made, and how do they get made as to who goes where? Winter ball, Arizona Fall League, go home, start showing up in Jupiter, working with coaches. How does that get planned out, and around what time does that all get planned?
Yeah, I mean, there's different conversations throughout the year, but that's more kind of front office, player, agent conversations more than anything. Yeah.
Well, we have a lot of I'm going to start popping these up here as we have questions coming in from.
I saw one, Tom.
Yeah.
Before you pop the foul ball yesterday, I saw one pop up earlier. I can't remember who asked it.
Yeah, I was going to see that. I was going to ask that too.
So we can visit that one real quick because I know there's some confusion on it. You can't challenge that play. You can only ask the umpire to either ask for help, whether that's get the whole crew together and see if any of the other three guys saw it, but you can't challenge a foul ball. So the frustrating part on that one is that he wouldn't ask the crew, and that's where I lost my mind. It's clearly a foul ball. What makes it difficult for them is that Jordan runs to first, right? So normally you hit something off your foot, you hit something off your leg, you stay in the box and you don't run. So it made it confusing because they thought they kind of saw something, but at the same time he ran, and once they don't call it, the play's over. So there's no way of challenging that. So JC clearly saw that it was a foul ball. That's why he slowed down, because he he was going to stop and go back to third. So the whole play looks like it looks terrible, and it looks like a base running mistake on Sachase's side. But the reality is he saw a foul ball, which it was, and he slowed down to go back to third for the next pitch, and all hell broke loose, and it was bad. But you can't challenge it. They just have to make the call live in the moment or get together as a crew and overturn it, which they would not.
Lauren wanted to know, part of that question is what you said to the umpire. Can you tell us or no? Are you avoiding that, or?
I knew you were going to come with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's important.
I said a lot of things, and some weren't very nice. But he kept me in the game because I think part of that was a missed call. But I cannot repeat what I said. No.
Because we're getting to the off season, can you now tell us like what your favorite thing you said to an umpire this year?
No chance.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Because
I don't know. I think that one thing you got in with, this was last year. That one thing, or maybe it was 2 years ago. The one thing you got into with CB Buckner, that's in the John Boy Hall of Fame. That was one of the all-time best for people. And I hope our listeners.
It was also the most expensive. It was also the most expensive, Bernie.
That I have to say, man, you're talking to a kid that grew up watching Earl Weaver screaming umpires.
I love it.
That exchange with you and CB, and I'm just talking about it as pure entertainment. You two going back and forth. Oh my gosh, was that fun?
No, he had some good, we've been able to talk that one through a little bit. He had some good lines in that one because he told me and he was right. He's like, you just got here, man. You don't have a chance to speak. You've been here too long. I mean, but it was a good back and forth, man. He's a good dude, and we are in the entertainment business, so it was a good one.
Have you ever? All right, here, because you've been doing this for a while now, but I mean, the Cardinals manager since 2022. When you go out there to holler, or not even curse, just holler. You're ticked off. You're hot.
Mm-hmm.
Has there ever been an umpire who, because he's just kind of maybe a smart aleck and he's a witty, and he says something and he just stops you dead in your tracks, and it's like you don't know what to say after that because he kind of caught you off balance?
There has been, and it didn't lead to an ejection because sometimes these guys are witty and they make you, all right, this guy's not going to throw me out. I get your point. You let me yell for a little bit, we're good, But there's times where that happens, and it's usually your veteran umpire that's gotten yelled at by the Bobby Cox of the world. And I mean, they've been around for a minute, and they're like, listen, I mean, I've done this a lot, and they don't have this quick trigger. So yes, there's dudes that do that from time to time, and that's at the end of the day, man. The job is hard. You're going to have those type of instances where you just go back and forth and you yell at each other. It's part of the game, and it's nothing against them personally. It's just you missed the call. I hate it, and it's going to disrupt what we're trying to do here. So I'm going to let you have it.
How often does a guy just tell you as soon as you get out there, hey, I blew it. I'm sorry. I missed that call. And then it completely disarms what you want to do.
That happens probably more often than people think. Yes. And I appreciate it. I mean, certain guys are pretty discreet about it as well. Like yesterday, the first pitch of the game was 2 balls off. It wasn't even close. And Newpart looks over at me and he's like, what in the world? Well, the umpire looks over a couple pitches later and gives me the I missed it, Fine. As long as we don't have the ego and saying no, that was there and we're going to double down on it, then yeah, we're all going to miss stuff from time to time. So he looked over, he's like, man, I missed that one. I apologize. All right, perfect. Let's keep going. No worries. So that happens probably more often than people think.
Your comments keep coming in about how people have enjoyed this and how you've grown as a manager. It would be cool to have Haim on the show sometime. Well, we're going to hopefully be able to do that too. Your off season and your closeness with Haim, that's one part of my question, but also this off season, you mentioned your circle that you hear maybe some criticism from your circle and some good criticism, people kind of guiding you along. We know that Tony La Russa was one of those who has helped you along as a manager. Who else can you let us in on that you like to lean on?
Man, I have people in the game and out of the game. I love Skip Schumacher. I mean, He is one of my favorite people I've ever been around in this game. My respect for him is through the absolute roof for a lot of reasons. Who he is as a person, more so than just a baseball guy. But you can speak honestly with him, and he shoots you straight. And that's my personality just leans that way a ton. So the more people I can have around me that can do that, the better you're going to be, man. I love surrounding myself with people that are elite and even better than me. That's at the end of the day, man, that's all that matters is do it with people that are really damn good at it and that are also good people. 162 games is an absolute grind, and you better surround yourself with people you love doing it with. But there's other guys in the business world that have been incredible, and CEOs of big companies that have lent their time and mentored me and helped me understand how to deal with criticism. And they're running big corporations where, man, everything falls on them, and they walk you through times where things were very difficult. So I not only have guys in the baseball world, but also in the business world that have been really, really instrumental. Yeah.
Oli, my intent here is not to put you on the spot, but I know that in all of our conversations, and no, seriously, in recent weeks, we have talked about planning and talking about what's going to happen after the season. And then you did it again today, which is totally cool. I'm glad you speak freely, where you mentioned something about you and Chaim getting together to talk about this, talk about that. I mean, you speak about it as if, how do I phrase this? As if you know you're going to be back for 2026. And to me, there's no doubt that you should be. I really mean that. But
I appreciate that, Bernie.
But by putting you on the spot, I mean, I know that that's up to the team to make any announcements, but it seems like you're at least, how do I say this, comfortable with the idea that you're still going to be managing the team?
I mean, I better continue to do my job until they tell me not to, right? Like, so that's just the way I view it. So once we get into the off season and have those discussions, then that's what it is. But I mean, it's in my nature, it's my person. I'm a do the job all the way through, and then we'll see where we're at once we're done with these 5 games.
Oli, we appreciate your time very much. You see, what people may or may not realize is that Oli can see these comments in real time as they come in before we put them on the screen, but they're all coming in support of the show, and we certainly appreciate that. Thank you for the time. We appreciate you, and we will catch up with you, I'm sure, real soon, and good luck tonight against the Giants.
No, I appreciate it, guys, and thank you for the way you guys went about this. The 3 of you. I mean, honestly, you have different viewpoints, different things that you're passionate about when it comes to the game, whether it's the tradition of the game, the numbers, you name it. So it's been cool to be peppered with questions from different angles, because it's no different than what makes up our fan base. Like, not everyone cares about the same thing. So being able to answer different styles of questions live and just kind of let it rip and speak from the heart as far as here's how I see the game has been fun. So love to continue it. But again, thank you.
Also, for next year, we hope to retire the word runway and never say it again. I never want to say it ever again.
We're closing down the runway.
We're closing that down.
It's over.
You got it, brother. Appreciate you guys.
Runway officially closed. Bernie and Chris and I will be back. Oli, thanks so much.
You got it.
The Gashouse Gang on KMOX, our conversations with Oli Marmol, is always sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. Let me tell you about Genesis of St. Charles, the great car dealership located in St. Peter's, 5601 Veterans Memorial Parkway. You want to get a new car? I got the spot for you. It is Genesis of St. Charles. They are the #1 Genesis dealer in the state of Missouri. And they're the first and only standalone Genesis dealership in the state of Missouri. A Genesis, if you've seen them out on the road, you know they get your attention. They look so nice. They drive like a dream. And they have a large selection at Genesis of St. Charles ready for you to test drive today. You can call them to schedule, but I think the easiest thing to do is walk through the door. The second easiest thing to do is to go to genesisofstcharles.com, and you can learn all about the great dealership. Also, this is the all-out sellout. They're trying to break all sales records in September. I'll bet you they can do that. This month only, $500 gift card with any new vehicle purchase. genesisofstcharles.com.
Hey guys, Dave Glover here from the Dave Glover Show. So, what is my show? My show is 4 different people living 4 different lives, all coming together every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. to talk about life, actual life, not so much headlines or did you see what Trump did today or XYZ. Never predictable because I never know what I'm going to talk about from one segment to the next. So it truly is unique and unpredictable. Join us.
104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is 76 degrees here in St. Louis. The high will be 81. Might see some showers this afternoon.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cowboy here. Renner Garage Door has brought cheers to their fans for decades with the best styles, cutting-edge tech, and good old family values. Get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER.
When we started Neovitin back in 2009, we wanted to create a multivitamin that we would take ourselves. That's why we use quality ingredients in our Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin. With over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our physician-formulated proprietary blend, you can be sure you are getting the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin a try for yourself. Find it at your local Schnucks, Deerbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband, the internet provider in the Pauley household. I think you'd love it if you had them as well. We've got the 2 gig package at our home, 2 gig upload, 2 gig download mirrored, and we're spending less money than we did with the cable company for lesser service. Plus, right now, they've got savings over $400 beyond their already low standard pricing. You got questions? They've got answers. Call 877-976-0711, and they've got people there who can answer all your questions, or head to their website, i3broadband.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Named one of Newsweek's world's best hospitals for 2025, Anderson Hospital is your hospital for life, delivering exceptional, compassionate care to families across the Metro East. From emergency services to specialized treatments, our dedicated team supports your health at every stage. Experience world-class care close to home. Discover the difference at andersonhospital.org.
Get ready, cause here they come.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's Beatlemania all over again with the Fab Four, the ultimate tribute to the Beatles. Entertainment Tonight says seeing the Fab Four is just like seeing the Beatles. Hey Jude. The Fab Four takes you through the 60s with the music that changed our lives. It's a show you won't want to miss.
Saturday, October 4th at the Family Arena. Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster.
Herman's Hermits, starring Peter Noon.
Something tells me I'm into something good.
And The Lovin' Spoonful.
Do you believe in magic?
Saturday, October 25th at the Family Arena with the Hollies' greatest hits, starring Terry Sylvester. Get tickets now at the Carroll House Furniture box office, located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Herman's Hermits, starring Peter Noon and The Lovin' Spoonful.
The countdown to kickoff starts here. Friday's focus on Mizzou, the Chiefs, and the NFL, only on KMOX.
Gashouse Gang on KMOX. Ronj was just looking at the forecast for San Francisco. It's going to be in the mid-80s today.
Well, no, they got a heat advisory, Tom. Unless AccuWeather is lying to me. They have a heat advisory in effect from now until 7. They might get temps close to 100.
They're going to feel right at home. The Cardinals will 85, and it's going to feel like 88. That out there, they freak out about that. I mean, down in San Diego, and it's like 80. They're like, we're so sorry about the heat. I'm like, what? As I'm wearing, long sleeve.
Yeah, I think San Francisco, first of all, when I traveled all the time, used to love to go there. It was just always a lot of fun, and it's so different. But this has been a baseball scene in Major League Baseball for decades. It's like in the middle of July where the rest of the country is steaming, and baseball fans are sweating at ballparks, and you see it first at Candlestick Park, now the current park. Giants fans are wearing like jackets, and they're all bundled up. They're wearing hoodies. When it's like, it's like 4th of July, like right in the smack dab of summer, they're dressed as if it's like the early winter weather moving in or something.
I love it.
I know. It looks so cool too.
If I could do 65 degrees all year, I'm in.
That's
so good.
That's a great, that is a great baseball market. I think it's historically underrated. Covering a lot of big games there. There's nothing, I'm taking St. Louis out of the conversation just to rate another city. And the energy in that ballpark all the time, and the fans are colorful. They're rowdy. They're friendly. They're a little goofy. And I mean that in the best way. And I just, I've always thought, man, what a great place to watch a baseball game. And I really believe that it would be, at the top of my list. I think I'd rather watch a game there than any other place if I'm going to be a fan sitting in the stands.
Great baseball town. My buddy Damon Bruce has been covering the Giants for like 20 years. And it's just it really is a great pro sports town. Sometimes the college sports don't get as much coverage. I actually think St. Louis, in a lot of ways, we don't give college coverage what it deserves. We're very much a pro sports town, but San Francisco is a great sports town overall. It's odd though, isn't it, Bernie and Chris, the Giants, how they just can't get it going? It just makes me, I'm kind of confused by that because it's a big market. It's a great baseball town, but they're getting overshadowed by the Dodgers and the Padres and the Diamondbacks in their own division.
And they it's been a long time, well, listen, they were great in 2021.
They were.
They've been really sort of below the radar up except for that time. It's been a pretty long time, which I think is always good for one's perspective, because I know in St. Louis we're ticked off the Cardinals the last 3 years in particular, and yet the Cardinals have not disappeared for a long length of time, like, for example, the way the Giants have. And the Giants are a great franchise. Everybody goes through this stuff, but yeah, they've been going through it in San Francisco. And for what I understand, some of my intel, I think their manager's in trouble. They don't make the playoffs. And what the Cardinals did to them last night was definitely a blow to their hopes. I think Bob Melvin's in trouble, serious trouble. So we'll see if that turns out to be the case. They put a lot of money into that team this year, and that's even before they traded for Devers and also picked up what's left of his contract, which is a massive amount of money. And it never fell into place.
And it's tough. It's tough to realize this, Bernie, but Cardinals and Giants are both 3.5 out, which gives you, of the wild card spot, exact same record, which gives you an idea. We're talking about San Francisco being a pretty good playoff team, possibly leading up to the recent stretch where they've lost 8 of 10. But that's how close the Cardinals actually were. There was a real opportunity for them to really make this last week a meaningful week in terms of a playoff run. And it just, you have a couple of games go your way, and we're having a different conversation today.
Yeah, Tom, and to loop Tom into this, because you just made a great point. Listen, I don't think any of us would sit here with a straight face and say that the Cardinals this year were a good team. I mean, that you are what your record says it is. However, that said, because we're all connected to reality, the New York Mets gave the Cardinals, the Reds, the Giants, and the Reds are still right there, obviously. But the New York Mets allowed the Cardinals to pull off something crazy.
Yep.
Absolutely crazy, to actually sneak into the playoffs. And the Cardinals were close to being able to take advantage of it, but just too many problems, inherent problems. The offense shut down. The starting pitching was not very good. it just prevented them from getting into that consistent run that they needed, that one great run late in the season that they needed.
Yeah, they just never had the team, I didn't think, to pull that off. You know, they had the 19-8 May, but I never saw a team that could just rip off win after win after win. They just don't have the horses in the rotation to do it. But you're right. I mean, there was a window there. It's crazy. The Diamondbacks are just a game out of this wild card. I mean,
I forgot about them.
I mean,
they're right there.
It's absolutely nuts. We have one more segment to go. Bernie, before we do that, tell us about Saliga Heating and Cooling, if you would.
My pleasure, man. I'm really happy. First of all, I want to thank Saliga Heating and Cooling, Dan Saliga in particular, for sponsoring this segment all year, the Gashouse Gang, for all of us, and especially the days where Oli Marmol is on it. And I know that Dan has really enjoyed being part in his own way of the Gashouse Gang. So, but I want to thank him. And I rave about the Saliga family and their business, taking care of St. Louis since 1927. They're still the best, still most trustworthy in town. And I don't speak about that from the sidelines. I speak about this Daikin Comfort dealer as someone who has been calling them to take care of our home and heating and cooling and indoor air quality for 17 years. So we have had many experiences with Saliga. All of them have been great. And the one thing that we talk about a lot, and I'd like to pass on to you a lot, is that they can handle all your needs for your home or business with air conditioning and heating. And they also have free estimates, and they have financing options, and they won't leave you hanging if there's an emergency. But the other thing is, all the times we've called them, the one thing that stands out, there's a lot that stands out, including their professionalism, their knowledge, and their courtesy, their class when they're in your house. But their integrity, their honesty stands out every single time, because they've never tried to pressure us, talk us into things, twist our arms, maybe, try to upsell us, whatever you want to call it. They always take time to explain every option, and they start with the least expensive option and how it can help you. And they work their way up if it doesn't look like that would be the solution. But we never once have doubted their integrity. And that, in this day and age, that's pretty special. And one more thing before I wrap this up. The Priority Club is a maintenance program which will extend the life of your equipment, and then therefore it'll save you money. And that has absolutely been the case for the Miklas family. So for more information, call Saliga at 314-481-7333 or visit SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Thank you.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
KMOX welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra and their monumental tour, The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, to Enterprise Center December 23rd at 3 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. A portion of the proceeds benefits Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. TSO, timeless and everlasting. Don't miss the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, The Lost Christmas Eve, produced by Live Nation. For more details, KMOX.com/events.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Every year, almost 30,000 babies in America are born with birth injuries. It's every parent's worst nightmare. If your child suffered a birth injury, please call our firm to find out if we can help.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. That's right, weight loss seminar at the Marriott St. Louis West in St. Louis at 11 a.m. Registration 10:30 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Now back to the Gashouse Gang, sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling and by Anderson Hospital on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Just in, Major League Baseball is going to implement the ABS challenge system for balls and strikes in 2026.
Let's go.
News coming in from all the baseball writers that baseball has just released that. Jeff Passan, Derek Gould, many others are putting that out there. This is just fresh a minute or two ago.
When you say just fresh, I mean, Jeff Passan tweeted this 1 minute ago.
Yes, well, we're quick with our reaction on KMOX. Bernie, your reaction. I'll tell you from spring training, from calling the games down there and witnessing it, I thought it was really, really great.
I remember a conversation I had with Ranj and Amy before the season in spring training. And Ranj asked me, he said, well, are you in, Ranj was clearly in favor of it. And he asked me if I was in favor of it. And I was kind of waffling. I wasn't sure. I just wasn't sure. But I had to see it, and I had to see it. And they did a smart thing by putting it out there in spring training. I could see that it worked extremely well.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, it's actually entertaining because that they go right away to the technology and they put that on the board and you see the pitch. That kind of stuff is cool. So to me, it's a no-brainer, and I'm very, very happy they're going to implement that. And there's a lot of reasons. Just first of all, we all want accurate ball strike calls. Second of all, you won't see so much fussing over the strike zone coming from both dugouts all the time. And this is no shot at any particular broadcast crew, like on the TV side, but just I'm so tired of just like constantly dissecting whether if it's the broadcaster's team and the pitch is a little bit outside.
That's right.
It's like he didn't get the call.
Where was that?
Yeah.
But if it goes the other way, then it's an entirly different story. I can't believe he called that a strike. That kind of thing. Anyway,
Bernie, you're spot on. I think it adds a little bit of. I think the replay adds a little drama.
Yeah,
I like NFL replay. I like sort of watching it and not knowing what they're going to do, if they're going to call it or not. You know what I mean? So each team is going to receive 2 challenges. That's the deal.
And the signal is tapping your helmet or hat if you want the challenge, if you are challenging. And the whole process takes like seconds. Yep. I mean, it's really fast, as Bernie described.
It's great. Yeah.
Guys, it's been a pleasure. Now, the Gashouse Gang isn't going away. We're here all off season.
That's right.
No, the fans have made it. The fans made sure, listeners and viewers made sure we're not going off the air because we want to be there for you. You guys have been phenomenal. So we pick it just because Ollie's gone. We pick it right back up tomorrow. Doesn't mean we're stopping anytime soon.
We're here.
The Gashouse Gang on KMOX. Thanks for joining us.